Some of my recent research has focused on communication with people with dementia and a broader interest in people with dementia's well-being. People often think of cognitive and memory impairments with dementia, but word-finding difficulties and ultimately perhaps not being able to communicate at all verbally is something that really taxes people with dementia and their families and their formal carers. And so if we look at how people interact with each other, there's opportunities to maximise people's social inclusion and their quality of life and ultimately their well-being. So for example, if we study how people interact with each other, we can actually focus on people's strengths and the positive aspects of how they engage in the social world. Ironically, when speaking to carers, the challenges that they outlined were in connection with the health and social care system, how to navigate what they viewed as a maze, rather than actually interacting with the person with dementia themselves. When I looked at medical interaction and specifically diagnostic delivery, one of the things that I found was actually you don't need necessarily to use the words Alzheimer's or dementia for a diagnosis to be communicated and understood by people with dementia and families. I analysed newspaper reporting around dementia and Alzheimer's and also looked at how carers talked about what they thought about media representation of dementia. And really I found one key discourse which involved two parts. One was a kind of a blame discourse. So the idea that dementia is a tsunami, it's worse than death. On the flip side of that, and this is a new phenomena, was a big emphasis on health and individual lifestyle behaviours that can stave off the condition. So take a walk to keep dementia at bay would be a good example. The risk of these kinds of messages around individual responsibility for health in this context is that it can very easily flip over into being culpable and being blamed for a condition that's ultimately untreatable and incurable at the moment.